Hey, you're tuned into JMH TV, where the ships are real in our hearts, the drama is chaotic, and we have way too many BL opinions. I'm Haven,
And I'm Joyce.
and let's get into it. So, today, guys, we are going to be talking about the anime number six. And just a little disclaimer before we start, there are going to be some spoilers in general. So, we suggest watching it, then coming back and tuning in. But for a little overview, I'm gonna pass it on to Joyce because she's watched this drama way more than me. So you got that.
Yes. So number six is basically set in a dystopia where there's like a perfect community and a perfect world where everyone has its place, everyone has their job to do, and like you follow a certain set of rules and you have like blind loyalty to the people that run the city basically. And then we are introduced to our main two characters, Shion and Nezumi, and they kind of meet in like a strange sort of way where Nezumi is being chased by human hunters who hunt people that have disobeyed the rulers of the community or have done something to the community they find treacherous question mark. They just hunt people.
Who
They
have
hunt
a
people.
sliver of doubt
Yes.
about the place in general.
Yes. And yeah, so Nezumi is running away from these people and he is like he's gotten shot, beaten up, stuff like that. And as he's running, he hears a boy, Shion, yelling from his balcony and it's raining, it's pouring, and he's like, perfect, a place to hide. So he sneaks into Shion's room and it's basically like he pushes Shion against the wall. He's like, I'm gonna stay here till those people leave. And Shion is just more concerned about the fact that this kid who looks to be around his age is hurt rather than the fact that, like, oh, he's harboring a fugitive. So that's how they first meet. And from there, it's just like a whirlwind of Shion realizing that the community he's grown up in is not as perfect as it seems. And they are actually very manipulative and controlling to the people that live there and they don't even know it. And Nezumi like trying to like move on from revenge and festering anger towards the community to something more and seeing something more than just his revenge for what they've done to him. And we'll get more into that and stuff like that. So like that's kind of like the overview of No Six. It's just about two characters like meeting together in kind of like a connecting way and finding a way to free the people that live in number six as well as the people that live outside of it.
And I also think it's interesting how Shion, how he views number six in the beginning. Like, even though he has his doubts about number six, you can still tell that it's still the place that he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously he has some sort of care for it, especially in the beginning. But I think it's interesting how we see how he views it or his opinions on it shift as you watch the anime.
I totally agree with Haven. I feel like Shion was such an interesting character from the beginning because in the scene where like he busts opens like the window and he screams, I feel like that's like the first like indicator that he has some form of rebellion in him. Because
Hmm.
I don't think any of the other kids his age or that are living in number six would ever think of doing something like that, like
Yeah.
screaming into the abyss or something like that. Because they're so like one toned.
Hmm.
But even though he has like that rebellion, like what you were saying, I feel like he still viewed the place with such positivity.
Hmm.
And I'm looking at him like, bro, how you like you have like an inkling in you. Like I know you have that inkling in you that this place is not what it seems. Yet you're still gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the blind loyalty. Like I feel like that's just such an interesting like it's just interesting to me. I don't know.
Yes, I agree. And you can tell how it, I don't want to say, kind of affects his relationship with Nezumi because obviously Nezumi, he hates number six, okay? Like,
Mhm.
he wants to destroy that place down. And in the beginning, when they reunite, because when when they first met and he saw him hurt, they didn't meet up again until 4 years later.
Mhm.
So when they meet up again, he's like he saves
Shion
Shion from getting sent to the correctional
Center.
center because he saw what was happening firsthand with like the people getting the wasp. Like I don't know how some.
Yeah, so like you were saying, like even like in the perfect community, there were still things going on. Like
Mhm.
Shion had witnessed his coworker as well as another older man
Mhm.
being basically drained of life by this mysterious wasp creature that's basically infecting the population without them knowing it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes like the whole community and world so dystopian. Like it seems perfect from the outside, but like once you
Mhm.
look inside, it's like, okay, what's actually going on? Like why is everyone just blindly following these people and not asking questions?
Yeah.
Cuz like how did they even explain that that man had died to his wife? Cuz remember like Shion
They
came.
kept they kept saying like telling people it was just like a freak accident, and I
Yeah.
was like, y'all are believing that for
Yeah, like
real?
if my husband who was 34 mysteriously turns into an old man and dies, best be sure you're not gonna come over here and tell me it's a freak accident, and I'm gonna believe
Exactly.
you.
Because the thing is, it's like I feel like you can't even lie about it for her because other people saw it too. Like
Yes.
it was happening in public.
Yeah.
Like in the first couple ones that were dying, it was like they could hide it better because no one was around.
Hmm.
But it started getting so bad that it was in public places, and it's like, okay, you can only lie about this for so long.
Yeah. And yeah, you were talking about how like Nezumi and Shion meet again after 4 years. And I feel like
Hmm.
Nezumi as a character is also so dynamic because after that first meeting that they meet, you're telling me another 4 years this man was still checking out for this man. Like that's crazy work.
Exactly.
Like and he like the fact that he was like looking out for him those whole 4 years, and then as soon as a little bit of trouble came Shion's way, he said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go and get my man."
And he
Like,
was there front and center, like
hmm
he didn't waste
not
no
one
time.
bit of time. He was on that ass. He
Hmm.
was like, "You better listen, follow, and don't ask no questions till we get out
Okay.
of here."
And she don't. He went like
Because what else was he gonna do? Go back
that,
and get killed? Like,
that's true. That's true. But
yeah, it just like they're. Let's talk a little bit about Shion and Nezumi's like character dynamic with each other, like relationship.
hmm
I feel like with everything happening in the world and society that they're in, that their relationship with each other is kind of like put in the back burner. Like we were talking about how like they'll have scenes where they're like really lovey-dovey or even have a
hmm
kiss, and then cut to the next scene they're talking about how to like break down the wall or
yeah,
get
it's
back
like
into society. Like,
they'd have a moment with each other. Like in the series, they had two kissing scenes this
mhm.
entire series, and both of those scenes, they would kiss each other and then continue on with life like nothing happened. Excuse me. Can we go back real quick?
Yeah, like can we dive a little bit into it? But I also feel like that kind of like plays a part into like when we googled note number 6
Hmm.
on Google, it states that number 6 is not a BO. It's an anime with homosexual tendencies. Now, to me, when I heard that, I was like, because I had watched this previously before, I'm like, are they sure? Because it was definitely given BL.
Honestly, when I watched it, don't get me wrong, because I do feel like they loved each other
Yes.
and all that. But I understand what they mean by the homosexual tendencies, just for the mere fact that they never dove into anything relation like they never dove into their relationship, to be honest. Like they did kiss like twice, but it's like they never talked about it.
That's true. That's so
Like,
true.
you know, yeah.
So I feel like that also raises the question like, should for it like for a series, an anime, or whatever it is to be a BL, does there have to be like a structured form of relationship where both parties recognize that not only do they love and care about each other, but they're in a relationship?
Well, I feel like it's kind of it's not like a straight line. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
there are instances where they don't end up in a relationship, but I feel like for this for this anime in particular, it's it's just how they went about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'm not saying like every BL, because every BL they don't always end up together. I'm not trying to
That's
say
true.
like that's um why it's I don't not that I don't consider it a BL, but I understand where the
Yeah,
whoever said I understand where they were coming from, because even though they didn't end up together and they did have all those scenes together, I feel like at the end of the day it's because they never dove into it.
yeah,
Like that's the main thing.
I agree with you. I feel like it was like Shion and Nezumi's relationship was like a background activity
Yeah.
while everything else that was going on was just more important
Mhm.
than like delving into like, oh, they love each other in more than a friend way.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like also like Nezumi as a character, he seemed very like closed off, very somber. Not like somber and like he might have been a bit depressed, who knows. But like he just seemed like a very closed off, like kind of like rougher character compared to Shion. And like his whole dynamic, like his whole what even is the word? Structure was definitely survive or die, die
Mhm.
or survive. And while Shion was more of like the idealistic character who's like, oh, there's a third option, until
Yeah.
the very end where he saw the way that number 6 was like actually built,
Yeah.
that he finally was like, okay, yeah, maybe there is no third option. Maybe it's either do or die. While there was that switch with Nezumi where it was like, okay, maybe there is a third option and it's
Mhm.
not just do or die. And it was
Yeah.
kind of like a switch between the two, but at the end they also clicked.
Yeah, like with them it's like they switched their views,
Mm.
but I feel like they switched their views because of each other.
Yes.
And it's like I feel like that also goes into how much how they viewed each other as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense,
I
but
feel like that makes sense. Like Nezumi very much saw like Shion as like the I feel like innocent,
mhm.
doesn't really like sheltered is more
Yeah.
the
And
word.
you can tell you can tell by how he reacted when Shion killed the one
Yeah.
soldier, whatever
Yes.
officer. Like he actually felt really bad that
Shion
Shion
had
did
to do
that.
that.
Yeah.
He was literally on his knees begging Shion, like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Mhm.
You don't have to do it. And like Shion, he had gone in a state of manic, okay? He was
Yeah.
not even himself. And he literally shoots his man twice.
I think it was because he saw how he hurt his man. Don't
Yes.
play.
And that's like they actually really deeply care for each other. Like even like there are moments where Nezumi's like, "Oh, you're such a nuisance. You're so annoying. You're gonna get me killed." But he will always go back, run back, and get Shion.
Mhm.
And Shion will be the first in line, head first, diving into saving Nezumi or anyone in his life. Honestly,
Yeah.
because he like Shion really cares about people around him, like anyone that he's introduced to, like the scene where the mother got killed by the
Yeah.
human hunters,
Mhm.
and his first thought was let's not even run. It was let's save that baby because the
Yeah.
heck, like things like that. I feel like that very much influenced Nezumi in the end and his decision to like stay with Shion to the end, even though in that moment he didn't know if Shion was alive or dead. Well, he thought Shion was dead, and the building was collapsing, like he was about to die too. Oh, I ripped her earpiece off. It's okay.
But I also feel like this also goes into the other characters as well, because I also feel like Shion in particular also impacted, especially like a dog loan,
Yes.
and which what a name.
What? And can we talk about her little? She was it a
Ooh,
girl or boy?
that was a girl. Dog
Okay,
loan was a girl.
she was just so funny to me.
I liked her.
She
Okay.
she was talking about when she said there was a scene where she goes, yeah, my mother died. I was like, oh, her whole family was living on the outskirts. And then she goes, yeah, my dog mother. Because I think Shion was like, oh, your mother died. He was like, yeah, she was a dog. I said, and she was talking about, oh, the dog was feeding her titty milk. I said, huh? Or sorry, boob milk.
Look at you. But yeah, it was just like, okay, like she was really raised around them dogs. I don't even know where she really came from for real.
No, literally, like, she was just dumped out in the outskirts as a baby and raised by dogs. Like, that's a cool story. And now she's called Dog Loner or Dog Loan.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, she got all them dogs
Yeah,
looking out for her.
it's true.
She got protection, okay?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like what you were saying, like Shion also very much impacted her because in the beginning too, like I feel like everyone on the outside were very much like do or die.
Yeah.
Like you either fight to survive or you go ahead and die.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very much one of those characters. But like her first interaction with Shion, she was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna die." And even though he was so kind and helpful to everyone, he still survived because like kindness can be a tool too, guys. Like it can also be a form of survival. It's not just like be cruel and be like tactful or manipulative to survive. And Shion showed them that.
Yep. I also feel like you can also tell like the switch like in the last 2 episodes when she actually stayed and waited for Shion and Nezumi to come back because I feel like if that was her in the beginning when they first met, she would have left.
Yeah.
She would have done her job and left, but she stayed waiting for them to make sure that they were alive at least.
They were okay.
Which I feel like honestly came from her meeting and like knowing Shion.
Yeah, I agree. Shion was just kind of like the positive light in a community outside of number 6 where everybody was kind of just like thrown out there or discarded or forced out and stuff like that. And then was there like a moment in the series where it was just like stuck with you, or it was like a moment where it's like, yeah,
a moment
this is like a key moment that turned like the aspect of the series to good or bad?
I need to think. I
would say I'll go first. I would say a key moment I feel like for me was definitely the first kiss scene, okay? Okay, so
when they first met when they were younger?
No. I guess the second kiss scene. No, like they were like in
Nezumi's... Wait a minute. They didn't even kiss when they were younger.
I was like, girl,
what the heck?
They held hands. Okay.
And you were going along with me too.
I didn't remember. I was like, did they kiss?
Wait, the first kiss scene, I gotta think. It wasn't the goodbye. It was the other one. It was the I
was talking about the goodbye kiss.
That was the first kiss scene?
What was their first kiss scene?
There was, because I remember specifically knowing that there, like when I was watching the series, there were 2 kiss scenes.
Yes.
Last one was the goodbye kiss. First one was the... Were they in their... I think they were in the room. They were in the room. I forgot what the kiss was for. I think they just kissed just a kiss.
Girl, I don't know, but... well, I guess my memory wasn't as sharp. But I'm talking about the goodbye kiss. Where Nezumi's basically like talking... Not Nezumi. Shion is basically talking about like, oh, this, that, and the third. And like wanting to be with Nezumi. And then he just randomly kisses him. And yeah. And he's like, oh, it's a goodnight kiss. And in that moment, I was just like, oh, if that was me, I would not have thought 2 times about it.
But I wouldn't have either, honestly.
That just shows how much Nezumi truly knows Shion, because he looks at him, oh, a goodnight kiss? He's like, yeah. And then he's like, takes like their bowls or something outside of the room. And then you just see Nezumi go, you liar. And it was so funny to me. Like, I was just like, I would have just been like, oh, a good night kiss and gone to bed. Like,
Mhm.
but no, he was like, yeah, no, this dude is up to something. He's up to something for real.
Yep.
And then they go like outside and they punch each other. Like, oh, you lied to me. You lied to me. That was cute. I like that
Yeah.
moment. I feel like that was a key moment that kind of like gave a glimpse into their relationship. Like, even if it wasn't a big glimpse, it was just like a, they know each other well.
Yeah. Okay. I've thought about it. A key moment for me, I feel like, is when Doglone and Nezumi were in the wherever they were, but they were kind of fighting, and that's when Doglone basically says to Nezumi like, "Oh, now you have a weakness," basically in
Mhm.
Shion. And I feel like that whole scene was very like it was a big scene for me because that's where I feel like Nezumi really like actually realizes or starts to realize that he cares for Shion way more than he thought he does, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like it was also kind of necessary for him to kind of be pushed
Mhm.
that information because it's like yes, I mean he always cared for Shion, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that's what really put put it in oh, English. Wow, I forgot the English language. That's what really put it in perspective for him. So yeah, I feel like that
Yeah.
both for Doglone. Oh, both for Doglone and for Nezumi because I feel like Nezumi realized that, and then for Doglone, I feel like it made her think a little more as to why Nezumi would put himself in this situation.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
I agree. I feel like that was also a very like key moment for Nezumi as a character and like moving from what he knew to like a different perspective. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. And then obviously every single BL or every single anime, any show honestly is different. But there are usually like some key aspects that like translate or make a person like the show. How do you feel like this anime compares to like other other maybe BL anime or like romance animes like, Banana Fish or
Hey,
oh,
hey.
that was just or Given, not Giver. It's like the Giver.
I
Sorry.
was like, what?
I was thinking Dystopia and then the Giver came up. No, like Given or Banana Fish or other animes that have like BL aspects as well compared to number 6. I feel like a big difference is definitely the setting and
Mhm.
the dystopian factor of it. And also like I feel like with Banana Fish and actually girl, I only watched 2 episodes of Banana Fish before I put that stuff away, so let me not even talk. But like with
Right. Don't talk what you don't know.
but with Given, I feel like with Given and
Wait,
compared
are you gonna say spoilers? I haven't watched Given yet.
no, it's not spoiler. It's just like a general commentary.
I
It's
don't
not a
trust you.
spoiler.
I don't trust you.
It's not a
I don't
spoiler.
trust you.
I don't know what you want me to say. Like, can I finish my thoughts?
Cause I feel like
I haven't watched Banana Fish, and I'm not gonna. The way this
cause
girl
you're a
was over
loser.
here rolling
Heh.
around, like calling me, talking about she depressed for years. Like, yeah, no, I'm good. I like to keep my sanity this summer.
Oh my gosh! Like I feel like Banana Fish was. Ooh, that's why I couldn't. Cause Joyce was over here telling me she was crying for this anime, girl.
No, the end where Shion basically gets shot, and literally he gets shot in the heart. First of
Mhm.
all, he gets shot in the heart trying to like get Nezumi up to take them like to run away, and yeah, like he's dead, like he's dying. Doglone and the other man that was with them, I can't remember his name. They were just like, he's gone, Nezumi. Let's leave. Let's leave. The place is crumbling down. Like we need to leave. And
Yeah.
Nezumi doesn't leave. He stays with Shion. He sings him a song, and I cried. Okay, like that was so sad and just like so heartwarming. And like Nezumi could actually sing,
Okay,
like
he can't sing. He
period.
can't sing.
And like yeah, I feel like that's also another like differentiating factor between Shion and Nezumi. Like Shion is a gifted, smart kid. Like with I feel like he's book smart. Nezumi gives more like creatively smart, creatively ambitious, creatively like street smart. Like
Yeah,
he gives
which
that.
I feel like is from how they grew up and how they were raised.
Yeah, and the total opposite
Hmm.
of each like of their like characters, like of how where they came from. Like Nezumi, his talents would not have been praised in number 6.
Yeah, they would have. I mean, as he was
Yeah,
getting,
he would have been casted out.
hmm
But yeah,
gone to the correctional facility, which is where they were taking him.
but even though Haven thinks I'm gonna spoil it, I'm not. I'm just gonna. I want to finish my thought. I think, like what you were saying before,
Right.
it's in like a anime or a BL or any drama. The relationship aspect between the two characters is very important. So, like in Given, there was a determining factor already of a relationship between the two characters, which makes it, I feel like, more BL than number 6, in my opinion.
Given.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of enemies that are more BO than
Number
number
6.
6 because
Yeah.
number 6.
Like we were saying, like it's very much not focused on any like specific relationship, more so the whole aspect of like the community and what the community or number 6 does to the people outside of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And how the people were brainwashed.
Honestly, like at the end where they were all walking slowly towards the broken wall, I was just like, why are they walking so slow? Like they look like zombies, bro.
Actually, because
And
I
then
understand it's like new, like what's going on, but it's like me personally, I was expecting a little more chaos.
yeah, they were all just like zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like Shion's mom taking Shion,
Hey,
girl.
my ears.
Sorry, she was useless the whole entire episode, the whole entire series. This lady was useless.
She really pissed me off, especially when she sent that little note. When she sent that little note to
Nezumi.
Nezumi and Shion,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, talking about they should go help what's that one girl's name?
I have not a clue what that girl's name is.
Shion's friend, to go help Shion's best friend because she was captured and sent to the correctional facility. And then when they responded back, basically, I mean, because Shion basically sent something, talk about some "I love you" or whatever, basically telling her he gonna go save her. Then she want to be like, "Oh no, no, like girl, didn't you ask for help? Why are you over here?" Don't piss me off right now.
Yeah, she was just giving not enough and too much at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is like also there were moments in the anime where you saw this lady with like the founders of number 6.
Yeah.
Yet she gave zero information on why she was with these people, what she did with these people.
And she acted so surprised when they would tell her things. Like,
Yeah.
girl, weren't you with them when they
Were
were
doing
founding
this?
this? Like, what are you talking about?
So like it was just so like her character was just so confusing. Like she was giving absolutely nothing and too much at the same time, bro. And yeah. And like Loki, like I felt like when she was taking care of that little girl, it kind of felt like she was replacing her son in some moments. I'm like, shouldn't you be thinking about, I don't know, aiding your son in his endeavor to save his best friend, or like doing something other
She
than
just
baking?
sat there and honestly was useless.
Yeah. So that's our thoughts on the mother. Okay, she needed to step it up.
Mm-hmm.
I could never.
Because, girl, you know that your son is safe, and I understand you want to talk to your son, which you have a right to talk to your son. But it's like, girl, don't be sending him on any quest if you don't want him to go on any quest.
Exactly.
Like, girl, simple.
And I also appreciate that at the end, everyone who okay, the one guy that was talking to the mom that kept coming to the bakery, and then at the end he was like in the car. I appreciated that he died.
You appreciate that?
Yes, I appreciated that he was killed off because he was just doing the most.
He also didn't bring anything to the plot. Like,
exactly, like he was doing the most and not enough at the same time. He's like, yeah, we need to know the secrets of number 6 and why they do this so we can take the power. Sir, bye.
No, literally. And also, like when he was giving his little speech or whatever to warn people, babes, you're about how many seconds, hours, whatever, too late.
Too
Everybody's already
late.
died. You're talking to a dead crowd right
No,
now.
like what? Be so for real right now.
And I'm also wondering, like, the people who are infected by the little bees or the little wasp or whatever, was it like by random choice or it's like
They've done something
yeah.
to the people outside and otherwise.
Because wasn't it the little Queen Uralis
Yes.
who was doing that?
Can we also talk about that a little because I was a little confused. Like what is
She came out of
nowhere?
She came
Like where
out
did
of
she come from?
nowhere.
Did she come from the forest people? Like did they steal her from the forest people to grow? Okay, this is what I got. I got that they stole her, the powerful entity, from the forest people to flourish like the land of number 6 and other regions, okay? And number 6 wanted more and more of her power and started like abusing it.
Yeah.
And she got angry, so she put like a plague on the people. And she was the wasp. Because at the end, when she had finished singing with Nezumi, she literally turned
Transformed.
into that wasp thingy.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty sure she was the one doing that. But it's also like, I feel like it was just like so confusing. Like she was just like thrown at us close to the end, like in the middle. She was thrown at us, and I'm like, okay, I get what you guys are trying to do.
I feel like they should have like very slowly introduced her from the beginning.
Yes, from
But
the
they
very
didn't do
beginning,
that.
especially with like Shion and Nezumi's meeting. Like that could have been like a moment where they could have introduced her as like, oh, she started their connection, or something like that. They could have done a better way of introducing her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just it was just like here. This is why the land is flourishing because of a magical creature, a magical entity, and we want her power. And now she's angry, so she's gonna kill you. Period.
So my guess is they were doing those experiments to try to stop her.
I guess so, or like reverse whatever she was doing. But like, how you gonna do? Okay, and also like when they were doing the experiments, to why did the entity possess Nezumi's best friend, and why her?
I don't know why it was her, but I guess it chose her to be her host.
But like, why did she need a host if she was just gonna turn into that big old moth thing?
To communicate with the humans, girl. I don't know.
I don't know either. Number 6 is also like we were talking about how it just feels so unfinished. Like it just feels like part 1 of a 10-part series, and they just never got renewed for another season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also that.
I feel like there's definitely more to the story because it's the manga and it has like I think Joyce said like 9 different volumes, but like the anime and by itself, if it was just that, I'd be kind of sick because that's all you're giving me. For real? All right.
I also didn't understand the end. Like I don't know what you got away from it, but like when like
he was walking away.
Yeah, like Nezumi, like they were standing at the edge and looking at the wall broken down, and then Nezumi just like turns around and starts walking away. I thought Shion was gonna follow him, but then Shion also just stands at the edge looking at Nezumi, and then Nezumi turns back and is like, "You've got this." Like, what does that mean? Like,
I don't know. That I feel like why what
like
why
yeah,
did you need to leave?
It was giving like, are they parting ways? Is he going back to the outskirts? You really don't need to go back to the outskirts anymore because you're definitely like the wall is gone. So why did he walk away and then disappear into oblivion?
I don't know. And then you left Shion with that child.
No, literally, just a random person's baby and the dog, and then Shion. And I'm like,
Shion gonna take care of it though.
Yeah, he is. Okay, that's his baby now.
But I feel like Dogbone was having some sort of connection with
to the baby. Yes, because I'm pretty sure that baby reminded her of herself. The baby reminded her, of herself.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. Yeah, it's definitely giving unfinished. It's definitely giving they needed a second season, maybe even a third, to wrap this stuff up.
Yeah, because especially when Shion was like, "We're definitely gonna meet again." Like,
what does that mean? Like, why did he go in the first place?
No, literally, what was the reason for you?
Like, where did Nezumi go? Okay, maybe we should read the manga because, like,
probably because
hella confused. But yeah, that was basically like our opinions and thoughts on number 6. And as a anime in a whole, did you like it or no?
It was okay. Not my favorite, but it wasn't bad.
Her face right now, like, girl. Okay.
What's wrong
Well,
with my face?
she said it's okay. It was good. Not my favorite. It's looking melancholy. Yeah, my okay, I think I might have appreciated it a little bit more when I was younger than rewatching it now. Like watching it now, I'm like, okay, yeah. But when I first watched it when I was younger, I was definitely eating this stuff up.
Understandable.
Yeah, because literally, like, I feel like BLs have been around for so long, but most recently have they been becoming more, I don't want to say popular, but like acceptable to talk about? Question mark.
Yes. And also back then, they wouldn't give you much, okay? Because this came out 2011.
Yeah.
So it's like the
Yeah.
2 kissing scenes that they even gave us, that was even being gracious, okay?
Yes.
Back then. So it's like understandable why it was more enjoyable when you were younger than
Yeah.
now.
It was like the 2 kissing scenes where it's like progressive as heck back then. And now it's like they give us way more than that. And I feel like that also like goes into like the era in which BLs started and how it's progressed to 2025. Like it's just like so much more now. And they give like more storyline, more scenes, and some companies do it really well and stuff like that. And I appreciate that. Also, I guess it's like a cultural aspect because anime is predominantly Japanese, in like Japanese culture, or like created by Japanese creators and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I guess it could also be like the culture in which Japan was in when number 6 was released and stuff like that. Like
That's
it's
true.
more common for you to see a Thai BL than a Chinese BL. Even though you were most recently telling me that like China has been coming out with some new ones.
I mean, I know we're not talking about this, but did you see how they're coming out with the Chinese BL about the Omegaverse?
Yes, I did.
And it's supposed to be it's supposed to be an alpha and an omega, but the omega is actually an enigma who impregnates the alpha.
I did
Like
see that.
that.
I was like, period. Okay, China.
Like, I don't know how that got past regulations, especially that little plot, but I'm gonna be tuned in, okay?
We're gonna see what they have to give.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like all of those aspects plays into the like what number 6 is and how it was released and how it became and stuff like that. But yeah, do you have any other thoughts?
No, that's all for me.
And then our next, so
our next one is going to be about next week we are going to be talking about Blooming.
We both already watched Blooming.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yep. So yeah,
so tune in for that, and thank you for hanging out with us on JMHTV. If there's a BL you want us to talk about or something you think we have to see, tag us, let us know. Don't forget to follow, leave a rating, find us on Instagram and our TikTok. We're always down to hear from you. Until next time, stay tuned, keep the love for BLs burning bright.
Bye.